Imagine waking up tomorrow morning. You reach for your phone. No messages, no notifications, no Wi-Fi. You try mobile data, nothing. You open YouTube, blank. Instagram, gone. Google, gone. At first, it feels like a temporary outage, but then the news arrives. The internet has disappeared, forever. No one can bring it back. And within hours, the world begins to change in ways almost nobody expects, because losing social media would actually be the least of our problems. So what would really happen if the internet disappeared forever? Let's find out. The internet feels invisible. Most of us don't think about it. It's just there, like electricity or air. But the truth is, the modern world is built on top of it. Right now, billions of devices are constantly talking to each other. Your bank, your hospital, your school, airports, power stations, shipping companies, emergency services. Almost everything depends on the internet in some way. And that's why the first day would be absolute chaos. Most people would assume it's a glitch, companies would restart servers, governments would investigate cyber attacks, experts would search for answers, but there would be one terrifying discovery. The internet isn't down, it's gone. The global network connecting the world no longer exists, and that's when panic begins. Banks would immediately face a crisis. Most money today isn't physical cash, it's just numbers stored digitally. Without internet connections, transactions stop, credit cards stop working, online banking disappears, ATMs fail, people rush to withdraw cash. But here's the problem. There isn't enough physical cash for everyone. Within days, long lines form outside banks. Stores begin refusing cards. People start buying essentials in bulk, and that creates another disaster. Supply chains. Most products don't magically appear on store shelves. Food, medicine, fuel, and supplies are tracked through internet-connected systems. The moment those systems disappear, confusion spreads, deliveries get delayed, inventory becomes inaccurate, orders vanish, and slowly, shelves begin to empty. But surprisingly, the food shortage isn't the scariest part, because something much more dangerous is happening behind the scenes. Hospitals. Modern healthcare relies heavily on internet-connected systems. Patient records, lab results, medical databases, communication between facilities. Doctors can still treat patients, of course, but many critical systems become slower and less efficient overnight. And when every second matters, delays can cost lives. Meanwhile, airports face major problems. Flights depend on constant data exchange. Weather updates, navigation information, scheduling systems, passenger databases. Many flights would be grounded. Travel across the world slows dramatically. And that's just the first week. But here's where things get really strange. After a few weeks, people begin adapting. Businesses switch to local networks. Radio communication makes a comeback. Paper records return. Cash becomes valuable again. Humanity starts rebuilding. In fact, some people might initially enjoy it. No endless notifications, no doom scrolling, no social media arguments, no addictive algorithms fighting for attention every second. For the first time in decades, millions of people might experience something unusual: silence. But that peace wouldn't last long, because another problem emerges: knowledge. Think about this. How often do you instantly search for answers? How many facts, tutorials, maps, and guides live online? The internet has become humanity's largest library. Remove it forever, and access to knowledge suddenly becomes much harder. Students struggle, researchers slow down, small businesses lose access to global markets. Innovation begins to stall. The world doesn't stop learning, but learning becomes slower, much slower. And now we arrive at the biggest question. Could civilization survive? The answer might surprise you. Yes, but it would look very different. Humans lived thousands of years without the internet. We can survive without it. The real issue isn't survival, it's speed. The internet acts like the nervous system of modern civilization. Information travels across the planet in seconds. Without it, communication slows dramatically. Economic growth slows. Scientific collaboration slows. Global cooperation slows. Imagine trying to coordinate disaster relief, international trade, or medical research using only older communication methods. Everything becomes harder. Everything becomes slower. But there's one final twist. A world without the internet might actually reveal something we've forgotten. Human beings are incredibly adaptable. When technology disappears, people invent new solutions. When obstacles appear, we find new paths. History proves this over and over again. And eventually, humanity would likely create something new. Not the internet we know today, but another system designed to reconnect the world. Because humans have always found ways to communicate, from smoke signals, to letters, to telephones, to the internet. The desire to connect never disappears, and maybe that's the most important lesson of all. The internet feels permanent, but civilization isn't built on cables, servers, or screens. It's built on people. People who solve problems, people who adapt, people who refuse to give up. So if the internet disappeared forever tomorrow, life would become harder. The economy would suffer, technology would take a massive step backward, and the world would experience one of the greatest disruptions in human history. But humanity would survive, because we always do. Now here's a question for you. If the internet disappeared forever, starting tomorrow, what would you miss the most? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, subscribe and turn on notifications for more mind-bending what-if scenarios that make you see the world differently, because the next question might be even crazier.